This is really cool. It's called Canciones de Cadaqués. Okay, it's Richard Hamilton, Dieter Roth, and Luis Chispas. They sign the album like dogs, right? So let's play it. When we got married, I decided to buy artworks to have in our house and to make this available for our children so they could start to create their critical thinking through art. I grew up in a politically engaged family, so most of the artworks that I have that are politically engaged, they bring back some of my inheritance from the past to the present. So in this sense, it talks a lot about me. It's like going to therapy, you know, so you can find out who I am by looking at my artworks. This is Eugene Goringer, the so-called godfather of concrete poetry, in a computer poem that repeats itself for 300 pages. Here is the German magazine for conceptual art and fluxus called Interfunktionen, with all the multiples. So this is quite rare because people detach the multiples from the magazine. I started with Brazilian art, but then I felt that this was just part of a big world that was around me. You know, I found conceptualism as a way to express myself. And then, you know, it was kind of an easy path. But today I have a big challenge because I'm looking a lot into performing arts, you know, that don't necessarily mean physical artwork. That might be only documentations like, you know, dance or reading of artist texts, this kind of thing. So now it's a real challenge. I like immateriality because it puts in checkmate the idea of materiality. When we talk about art, when we talk about $1 million artwork, the first thing we think is that it exists a particular piece of work that is worth $1 million. Okay? But there are artworks that are only the idea and how you're going to make a price of the idea. Then it comes back, you know, my trading mindset. Pricing something that looks like that is not feasible to price, but you find a price. So you enter in a philosophical situation where it doesn't exist, it exists, it has a price, it doesn't have a price. I feel excited by this game. It challenges myself, and every time I tell someone, I start confusing everyone. So this is the fun thing of the immateriality. The cave actually became real when we built up this house. My wife said, you need a space where you can store the artworks. But in this in-between, I was already buying a lot of archival material. So this cave, this place without daylight, without clock, without anything became my place. I go there, you know, I stay there. And I do my thing, so I have access to the internet, I can catalog my material, I study there, art, you know, so it became my place. That's why I call the cave. Here's something interesting too. An ontology of contemporary mathematical poetry. You see, this guy is also a visual poet, Richard, from Fibonacci sequence. You know, and there are many things. In these folders here, I separated hundreds of invitations of hundreds of artists. And now we go to the records, which is another very special thing we have. There is one that is very, very interesting. I have to find it. There is this amazing record that is Evie Klein, and incredible, huh? There's no sound. You're gonna listen this for 10, 15 minutes, no sound. Concert of vacuum. So here we talk about immateriality again. Also, it's a subject that is constant in the collection. I am material. I am big time material. I live in a big house. I'm surrounded by artworks, and so materiality is present. But I could stay, in a comfort zone, thinking about, having the materiality as something normal, or challenging myself with the non-material or the immaterial.